This weekend I made a beef rib roast that I got from Aldi. I'm going to show you how I did it. I dried off the whole entire roast. Mine was about 5.5 pounds. I dried it off with paper towels. I salted and peppered the whole outside, and then I made a butter mix with 2 sticks of butter, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of chili powder, some parsley, a little bit of oregano. Then I spread it all over the top of my roast. Like, coat it on there, the top, the sides, everything. You put the butter right over the strings. You want to make sure you get a lot of butter on this thing because it slow cooks, and this is what adds flavor and a beautiful crust. Here's me getting the sides and then adding the final butter mixture to the top. I forgot to mention that you should have your butter soft when you decide to mix your butter up with the seasoning. The directions for the time and temp are in the caption below. This thing cooked for 3.5 hours. I let it rest for 20 minutes, and then I carefully removed the string. The reason you put so much butter and herbs on the top is because you do lose some of that when you pull this string off. Now, if you look, the roast has a bone on the bottom that they've already semi-butchered for you. They kind of cut it off, and it has a little bit of like a flap underneath. I'll show you guys when I lift it up in just 1 second here. But you can see it's almost partially cut off. So you just pull that down. I like my roast rare. You don't need to comment on it. You could cook yours longer if you prefer it more fully cooked. But I finish warming it in the au jus, so it gets a little bit less pink when you do that. I remove the bone. I use that later to make a bone broth. I'm so embarrassed of this video because I didn't sharpen my knives very well after my big cooking fest last weekend. So I was struggling a little bit. So make sure you have a very sharp knife when you're cutting this. I cut it into about 1-inch slices. Here, it was a little bit rare for me, so I put the au jus on there, stuck it back in the oven for 10 minutes, and it came out perfect for how we like it. These are my Duchess potatoes that I learned to make years ago when I worked at a banquet hall, and we had a delicious dinner.